Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's comic book review, and unfortunately Amber here was the test dummy to my little experiment. You see, I knew I turned the power saver off on the previous episode, so this episode I told Michael to give me a little warning when we were at 29 minutes and 40 seconds.
Which I did.
And then 9 seconds later, you got cut off. So anybody who watched the last part, yeah, she got cut off. So I guess...
Get the series, it's really good. Back to you, Chris.
Danke schön. Anyway, yeah, so I guess each part of the episode is going to be 30 minutes long. Because Lord knows Mike's camera can't handle this, so might as well do mine. Now well, you said it yourself, don't give me that face, Michael. Now jumping into DC Comics, concluding this week with the awesome new covers. You're going to be seeing it with every single one of these covers. Unfortunately, a series I will be dropping because, no offense, I am so not interested in the Legion of Superheroes, Legion Academy. Adventure Comics number 522. Basically, this concludes Mon-El as Green Lantern. He flies off, and basically we don't know what happens to him. He'll probably show up in a future episode of either the Legion of Superheroes or a future Legion Adventure Comics. So basically, he goes up against the Sun Eater, who's trying to free a woman with psychic powers, who I believe is the supervillain, who's being transported by the space police. He stops the Sun Eater. The artwork is beautiful, though. I really wish they would have kept Superboy with this Legion and not jumped into contemporary times. Here, I'll show you a nice picture. Mon-El looks a lot like Superman, though. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it does.
So anyway, Mon-El saves the day as a Green Lantern and flies off. In all the DC Comics this week, there's a preview of DC Comics Online Legends comic bi-weekly miniseries. And yeah, so Mon-El flies off the end, and then it says in 2 weeks in Legion number 9, the return of Durla. In 1 month in this, Legion Academy begins, and then in 2 months, Legion of Supervillain Special number 1. This is the end for me. Unless Superboy comes back at some point, then it will be the return for me. But for now, check it out. It was awesome seeing Mon-El as a Green Lantern. Definitely pick this up. And that means we lost the vote for Mon-El being leader of the Legion. Now, coming in third this week, which is scary, Brightest Day number 17. Turns out the Firestorm did not destroy the entire universe. He was just sent to another universe. Deadman and Dove have a very romantic moment, or they talk about a romantic moment they had the previous night. So Deadman and Dove are lovers. And anyway, Deadman looks to he finds out that his grandfather's still alive, and there's a very heartwarming moment between him and his grandfather. Hawkman and Hawkgirl follow Hawkgirl's mother into the Star Sapphire World's attack, and basically Hawkgirl's mother becomes possessed by the Predator. So now the Star Sapphire entity is in Hawkgirl's mom, and that's where they leave that off. And basically we round out the entire book with, finally, after 17 issues, the White Lantern ring is finally powering up. Because I believe I know why. It goes 1%, 2%, 3%, and I believe it ends at 3% though. Oh no, 4%, and then it goes into the next one. I know why the ring is powering up. Deadman is finally living. So I'm guessing once the White Lantern ring reaches 100%, it'll be able to find the almighty White Lantern that it needs to. Series is very drawn out, but it's still pretty good. It's worth reading. We're going to find out about the White Lanterns before all is said and done, and I'm looking to see the Black Lantern Firestorm destroyed once and for all, so I'm looking forward to the end of that. Now, the last two titles of this week are Superman related. Superboy number 3. Superboy is feeling very upset that all the crops in Smallville have been basically devastated by poison ivy and the farmer that was hooked up to the machine. So he figures he's going to raise money, so he brings Bart into town and he talks to Bart and he says, how about we have a race and we'll raise money so that the farms can be, you know, so that the farmers and everything can have the money to stay alive. Basically, this is money to give to the farmers so that they'll have money to grow crops and everything for the following year. And Bart's all for it, and that leaves off to another. In a future issue, we're gonna see Kid Flash and Superboy race, which I'm uberly looking forward to because I love the issues where Superman and Flash had their races. I have both issues in my old comic box. So then the rest of the issue basically is about basically Kid Flash makes the hint. It jumps back and forth from the present to the past. That was a past thing. Basically, what's going on in the present is something's going on at Smallville High or in Smallville, and everybody gets knocked out from a major migraine headache, and Superboy is barely able to stay conscious, and for some reason it's not affecting Lori Luthor at all. And basically Lori gets accidentally sees something she's not supposed to. She sees Connor changing into Superboy, so now Lori knows that Superboy is Connor Kent. And also Connor talks to his friend from school. What's his name? Why do I forget names so easily? Simon. Why do I forget that name? That name's a simple name to remember, isn't it? And he tells Simon, we can't be Connor Kent and you can't be friends if you're going to be best friends with Superboy. And then we find out that everybody has a headache because somebody jumps from the year 2216 and looks for Superboy's help, and he's like, help against what? And it turns out to be these guys. Superboy gets knocked out, to be continued. Interesting. Something from the future. It's not the Legion future, so it's not like the Legion superheroes are looking for Superboy's help. Interesting. Can't wait to see the next issue. Loving the artwork. I love Superboy. It's going good. Actually, next week I have some older issues of Superboy that I actually got from back in the 90s. I'll review those when they come. Absolutely check this out. I love Superboy. The series is going strong. Yes, there are... It stays into its own little entity. It doesn't go off into like major world-changing or universe-changing things like all the other issues are. So check this out.
Is that girl already a new character? Or?
Yeah, she was a new character. She was introduced back in Adventure Comic.
It tells me she might be a superhero in the fact that...
No, she's not a superhero. She's related to Lex Luthor.
Oh, well, that's why maybe the factor.
Now, my favorite of the week is Steel #1. It's a one-shot, and as you can see by the top of the title, it begins the reign of Doomsday. The entire issue is about Steel talking about his past, how he became Steel and everything, and Doomsday, apparently, is back. And Steel is fighting Doomsday, and that's basically the entire issue, is Steel fighting Doomsday and him saying to himself, I knew this day was going to come, I knew the day I put the suit on that I was going to die as Steel, and they're talking about the 4 Superman, Steel dying, coming back. The one thing that I find ... interesting is the fact that Steel is fighting Doomsday, and all of a sudden his armor changes and becomes, I'm trying to find a nice full body picture of it, and it becomes Steel, gets armor, he changes into this. His bone basically becomes steel. We all know that Doomsday can evolve to better adapt to his environment or whoever's fighting him. He basically can adapt to survive. And basically he takes Steel, and it says here the reign of Doomsday is going to be continued in Outsiders, starting in Outsiders number 37. So I will be checking out Outsiders number 37. This is where the issue concludes the one-shot. I will definitely be picking up Outsiders because I want to know what's happening next in the reign of Doomsday. How Doomsday's alive again, I don't know, but I'd love to find out how he came back to life, and I want to know why he took Steel and didn't just leave him for dead. He doesn't seem like the mindless killing machine he was back in the 90s, question mark, question mark.
I have a feeling this lady is the Death Queen.
Could be, who knows?
Considering they called her Mistress.
Who knows? So anyway, Steel one-shot, absolutely pick this up. Doomsday is back. Okay, and with that, we have concluded the first week of 2011. Wow. First off, let me just say something real fast about this so I can get this out of my pile so it's not out of the way. Spider-Man magazine. Save it for your kid brother, kid sister, kid whoever. I don't care. Don't bother me with it. Okay. Runaways.
Get him.
Okay. Don't look at me. I have no idea. Steel, Reign of Doomsday, one shot. Absolutely pick it up. Superboy number 3. Loving the series. It is going strong and very, very well. Brightest Day number 17. Once again, I've been saying this from the beginning. It's drawn out, but getting interesting. There are interesting parts, and then there are parts that you want to look over. So I leave it up to you guys. Adventure Comics number 522. This is the last Adventure Comics for me. I am not even remotely interested in the Legion Academy. The Walking Dead number 80. This new story arc looks to be very, very interesting and very cool. Vampirella, I say awesome. You say check it out. Avengers Prime 5 of 5. It was an awesome miniseries. Artwork was great. Steele and Steve Rogers have their huggy friends again moment. Check it out. Sneak peeks is free. Go to your local comic book store. You can get it for free if you're interested in any of the comics that are in the preview. Lady Death number 1, I say is awesome. Definitely get it. And you say probably the same. Soldier Zero, 3, 2, 1. Definitely grab it. And this was a signed comic. You can get it at midtowncomics.com for $2 to $3.
No.
It's up to you. I got it just because it was signed. Would I recommend the series, Chew?
I do say one thing though.
Disturbing.
I may be very bad at summing up things when I can't go in detail about them. But if you actually read these, you'll get more out of it than what I can say.
Yes, but we're only here to tell people what they should be reading and what's good and what's not.
But anyway, it's very good so.
I don't know, she says to read.
So the only bad thing I have to say is about this book. The rest of the books are
And
good
Chew.
this week. Chew was signed. It didn't come out this
We
week.
can't
It came out a while
Is
back.
anything good or bad about that, to be honest?
No, I'm indifferent towards Chew. So, best book. Check out Steel number 1. Doomsday is back. I want to know why, and I want to know what impact this is going to have on the DC Universe. Can't wait. February. Outsiders number 27, I believe. I will be there. And as for this, that's it. First week of the year 2011. Hope you guys are having a great beginning of your new year. I'll keep you up to date with what's going on in all the universes. Big news coming soon to the reviews. You can expect a new Spider-Man Superboy show coming pretty soon also. And hope you guys have a great week. We will see you guys next weekend for another Dark Avengers comic book review. We are officially in season 2 of my Dark Avengers comic book reviews, but I won't be calling them season 2. I'm just going to keep those episode numbers going.
And as I always say, peace and chicken grease, guys.
Later, guys.
I'm going to get a chicken grease next year for Christmas. That's what I'm going to do.
As long as it doesn't look like chewing fine.
Oh, please.
She's going to reference Chew for the rest of the
Yeah,
year.
yeah, she really is.
Alright guys, see you next week.
Alright, bye.
A lot coming out next week, so be ready.